we're about to go live. I'm
What's up, guys?
quick mic check.
Let me give you guys something fun right here. So make sure y'all enjoy this, all right? Enjoy.
So we got the check. Great. Well, I have a mic here. That's what I'm looking at. So I'll just, it doesn't. So if this works. Yeah, the live is here. Yeah, future round. The recording for later. Yeah. Let me go live. Go ahead and come live.
Am I too elegant for? I'm sorry. Jokes aside, I'm sorry. Yeah, like, oh, you're in flip flop, so yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. But actually, I brought downstairs. There are multiple components. So if I only get over there, I didn't think.
Tell me
just
What's going on, guys? The session's about to start now, right?
who is talking to FBI right now? Looks like.
Balso, can you hear? Yeah. I just need to know you're not getting that. You don't hear anything at all. Okay, that's what I was saying, right? Actually, this is actually not part of the stream. It's got to be entered into the stream.
So all these pieces of
It's
your
myself,
collection.
myself and Jose right here. Yep, got that. It's one from here, all masterpieces, a representation of each of the sets.
Yeah, Jasper. Yeah.
Yep, just from 92 all the way to Dan's, the latest one, 1.2.
All right, Balso.
And then yours, this 14 right here, the Electra and the Iron Man that you're wearing the shirt of. So I'm very.
Is there an echo?
Right.
Yeah. At all?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's clear.
There's no echo.
But you can hear. Okay. Hey, we're gonna do a couple more mic checks, so.
Yeah.
Two masterpieces on the show each other left. So.
Can y'all hear Simone? Okay, good. And then for this mic, it doesn't have to be right here.
No, we're doing this part.
Perfect. Okay. So everybody, we ready? Yeah. Nope. Hey, everybody, we are OAX. We are live, and we've got two legends with us. This is Original Art Expo. I want to say con, but it's Expo. It's Expo. OAX, and Expo means extraordinary, right? And that's what we have here. We have two extraordinary Marvel called original art artists. And I got to do an introduction because it's like what you're supposed to do. But in this room, and I imagine the audience, you guys need to know that. So that's Simone Bianchi.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby.
Simone, the artist for 2018 Marvel Masterpieces. How long ago does that seem now?
What is that?
How long ago does that seem now?
How long? What? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Does it feel like a long time?
Oh, since
Yeah.
2018. Yes. I mean, we had a pandemic in between, so
Yeah. It's a long perspective. It does feel like.
And but like my perception of time changed dramatically since I became dead. So since then, I'm not kidding. I turned 50 1 year and a half ago,
Yeah.
and I swear to God, it felt to me like I was celebrating my 40th birthday, like the day before.
Wow.
So it's all about perception, and but I have to give credit to my own dad, who always says, "Wait and to have your own kids to realize how fast I can feel." You feel that, and that really changed a lot since I was my kid. So 2018, it's 6 years now. I mean, again, jokes aside, the pandemic really slowed down a lot of this perception. But then right after the pandemic, we all got back into like full-time working, and there's no weekends, there's no day off. Yeah. So and time just got back flying at the speed of light again.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's that. It's that.
And then Dan Dos Santos.
Let's go, baby.
I know for you, it probably feels like a while ago, but
Actually, it still feels like a while ago. It feels like that was a lot of time actually, since like when I started it was so long ago. It wasn't that like, and so it's it's weirdly still crap and doable at the same time.
yeah, we're going to take questions from the audience and from the live stream, so feel free to get your questions in. But
Painting wise, it was just like a year and a half.
Yeah.
But then like the fallout of it, the like scanning all the work, dealing with like
Oh, that's why I have my
putting on
sister
the show.
doing it.
135 paintings takes a year. It takes a whole year.
Yeah, you could bet.
yeah, so the question was, how long did it take?
Yeah.
You paint?
I
You
was
said a year.
So the job, it's hard to say how long the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it took 14 months, 15 to me, but I was half kidding because my sister Gloria, who's working with me for the past 20 years, she's like also studio manager, so I don't have to go through scanning and paperwork, and that gives me a lot of work time to focus on my artwork. Yeah.
So I see something happening here. It's actually was going to be my first question. There's a unique brotherhood that that I see existing.
It's a gauntlet. That job is a gauntlet.
I mean,
A gauntlet.
it's, it's a tight fraternity. There's not been a lot of artists who can say that they were the original part artists for masterpieces to begin with. But what is it like to be in that brotherhood? In that fraternity?
To be completely honest with you, the only one that I met in person is Dan from yesterday, actually in person, and Joe. I met Joe at my exhibition in Metropolis in New York, and so I never met the other guys. But like like we're all colleagues. It doesn't make a big difference to me whether it's comic books or the brotherhood. Me feel uh, it's like belonging to an artist community. It doesn't matter whether it's comic book, video games, character design. I mean, we all, I think, unite with the passion that are moving us.
What's the same question?
Yeah, I think truly that job is hard. Not many people have done it. Fewer people have done it single-handedly. So
Yes.
you've done it single-handedly. Joe's done it single-handedly. Dave, myself. Is that it? Anybody else like it? Like that's
Everybody else is either
It
paired or in a
is, it's
group.
the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Oh yeah.
Job-wise. Have you done comics though? See, I feel like comic guys are used to that.
That's a good point. Like, yeah, I was saying before we went live, I really had to giving up about doing interior comic book art on a regular basis because it really was draining all my energies out of me, and I did that for basically 14 years in a row. And but yeah, I mean, the Marvel masterpiece was just as draining in a good sense, of course. But let's say being able to hit deadline on a comic book publisher, it helped me a lot to hit my own deadline with the publisher.
Yeah, it was so hard for me. What you call like this camaraderie, it's more like trauma bond.
Trauma bond.
That job really did almost kill me. I think I had a hard time.
Are you saying that while you were in the midst of the trauma, your work, was it that bond with the other artists that really helped you get
I
through it?
talked to Joe a lot with it, like I called his advice and honesty, and Dave was it in his brain too. So yeah, like I
So who's calling you now for the trauma bond?
I have no idea.
I like that. I like that. There you go.
That's for the audience.
Oh shit.
All right, we've got a guest in the ceiling. That was interesting.
From Saturn.
Let's talk about the job hazard. When you get to
Just as best as.
right, when you get to come to an expo, first of all, this is the inaugural original art expo. I think it's really important for the fact that Marvel cards is really being served and put on the kind of the same pedestal as part of the original art at this expo. And I've seen the energy of it this morning. My question to you is, see kind of the, original art from Marvel cards in comparison to say comic book published art? And then how does that look to you? You want to go first?
I think the difference is it's so art. It's a little more focused. It's interest, so if you're not expect it's on a more focused audience. It's a lot of it's got more lives, but especially it's less.
It's hard for me to answer the question because, as a lot of my friends here know, um, the only time that I have the chance to talk to you guys, interact with you, is when I'm here. Because, as you know too, we don't have any company in Italy doing this with an Italian version. And I'm actually, yes, and I'm actually trying to talk to somebody doing that. And so I don't have the perception of what kind of, reaction or, um, my work has, unless I'm here. There, whereas comic book, of course, we have Panini, so all my work has been published for the past 20 years in Italy as well. So my perception is much more real, And so it's really hard for me. Dan is right. Like this community is maybe a little smaller, but as much as passionate and yeah, more intense. Like I can see a real love not only for the hobby of collecting the cards, but for artwork, for our original artwork, which is very uh, satisfying. Of course, it's gratifying. Is that a word? I don't know. It's a gratification for us. But again, this. I get to know you and interact with you guys when I'm here. Because in Italy, unfortunately, we definitely need to make, yeah, this thing work out. Because I think, I mean, they're going to be just the same passion. It's no more. We're Italian afterwards.
I would imagine a few of us want to get into it.
What is that?
I said, I imagine a few of us would like to get out there.
Yeah, yeah, you should.
Well, let me do this. Let me get a question. Do we have any questions from the audience? That we would like to ask anything from Santos or
Question for mostly for Dan, but also for Simone. You both come from different backgrounds. I mean, you do comic books, other things. You do covers for, like fantasy novels and Magic the Gathering, and you both share doing this Marvel masterpieces and getting involved in the community. Just talked about. You had mentioned it's very intense and like your focus and passion about it. You've gotten involved in like collecting the cards yourself, and it's for us it's like exciting too because like the artist is like sharing it with us and valuing the cards. I mean, how has that experience been for you as far as like a collector on the other side of it on your own art? I mean, it must be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's a very full circle. Because the cards are one of the reasons I wanted to get into my illustration work. I liked comics, and the art was always about both communities. I think the segue is that the art is really what holds it together. You can't be a fan of comics and not be a fan of the art. You can't be a fan of like of the Marvel masterpiece and not be a fan of the art. There's some other trick, like if you're doing sports cards or something, it's a little different kind of appeal. But that art is so important, and to me, like having like Jim Lee and stuff and those guys in my comics was like the paramount art until I saw card art. It was like Joe Justice. I was like, oh, that's what I want to paint. I want to paint, which to make, I mean, cards are such a niche thing that most painted fantasy stuff is illustration. And so it's what I did change the course of my career. Kind of come back to the card thing. It's perfect. It's like my segue to comics, I think.
I'm not a collector myself. I have to confess this scene, like, and I'm not even that much of a comic book collector. Like I do have like thousands of comics, but I saw some really serious collection.
Do you read your comics?
That's mine. Yes, every now and then I read it. these days, I gotta be honest, after working, like 10 hours, the last thing that I want to do is go and grab a comic and read another comic book. But I read a lot of that. A lot of you guys know that I'm a musician too. I'm a drummer, so every little spare time that I have, I'm just practicing, studying, and trying to get better. But I really do have very, very little time. Um, but I had a different uh, path then because my dad has been a painter. He's a painter his whole life, so I always want to be a painter. And I have to say, I have to give credit, of course, to Alex Strauss because I was in comic books, but when I first found out about Alex's work, I had the same reaction that you had with Joe Josco, and I said, "Wow, that is exactly how I would love my comic book, my own artwork to look like." And so it was, right from the start, I knew that that was the path that I want to follow, and that's what I'm still doing. Though we were having this conversation, microphone off, that it's really very time consuming, like painting full full like a full storyline, like 5, 6 issues. It's just if I have, and I will come back to comic books, to interiors, I will definitely use a different style and a more, yeah, definitely more uh, easy, a bit simpler and more geometric. But yeah, I'm thinking about Mike Mignola more than anybody else in this point. Yeah, like going from one extreme to the other. Yeah.
My alter ego is bogus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, 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 exactly.
Do we have any other questions for the audience? Please feel free to-
Well, my other passion is guitar stuff.
Yeah.
You drum guitar in Miami, okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. I mean, music is a huge part, not just of me as a person, but as me as a creative human being. So every time that I study and I practice and I do a step forward in my drumming, I definitely find a way to bring what I just learned on the drum set back to my drawing table, and it goes, it goes back and forth. But of course, I'm getting paid to draw and paint, and I'm not getting paid, and I'm not getting paid yet to play drums.
Let's see.
You never will. I don't even.
We got a question from the live audience.
All right, so I got a question for you. And this is what I've always been drawn to with all the cards is the actual storytelling. And both of you are so brilliant at including storytelling into these narratives and these pieces. And they're full compositions, but I remember talking to Joe Gusco and he was saying, well, I want to say every story. Bob Bianchi, who's the original creative director for all the cards, doing the same thing. And I just want to hear from both of you, how did you go about injecting narrative story into every character? But they're all done so beautifully, and you just really feel like the character is there, other than just the presence.
Uh, for me, being a huge comic reader back then, of course, it was, I think, much easier trying to convey everything I read through my childhood and teenage into what I was doing. Like Wolverine. Every time I draw or appear Wolverine, for me, is just a sum of everything I read. And now this is also everything I did with the characters. And it goes really natural. I don't even have to think about it. It goes, I don't know, it's just, yeah. I mean, and I said Wolverine, of course, because it's my favorite. I would say my favorite character, Marvel wise, to paint. But again, I didn't think about, I didn't want to do something. Uh, I didn't think too much. I let whatever I read, whatever remained inside of me from what I read, I just let it out on the cards without thinking too much. Even though because I didn't have time enough to think too much. Like a lot of the cards that I think Dan would tell the same. A lot of the cards it was the first the first one is the right layout.
The first idea, go.
Yeah, the first,
Yeah, that was the piece of advice I
like in
got
the
from
studio,
Joe.
like in the recording studio, first take, like
Yeah.
whatever, I mean, which is a great to me creativity practicing, like there's no second chance. You do whatever your skill and your mind is telling you to do.
I think injecting that story, like talking about the way you feel about Wolverine, you couldn't not inject your piece with
Yeah.
your entire life summation of this character. Whether you achieve that summation is maybe a different story,
Yeah.
but it's always like my idea of this character is always in there, unless I didn't know the character, which I don't think is. Did you paint anybody you didn't know?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have to be honest. Few of them I really have to go and see reference and not
That
reading
would be hard
story.
to capture a story.
Yes, yes. Uh,
Maybe you can do the one behind you guys, and then choose a small sample of the from the set.
No.
That collection is so good.
yeah,
It's
thank
so
you,
good,
thank you
like,
so much.
I remember seeing you posting that. I was like, Electra's never been cool before. That's it.
Yeah. I do love village. Like, yeah,
So-
a lot.
So Dan, I remember when you were talking about your creative process, you wanted someone to look at your paintings and tell the kind of origin and
Yeah.
power set, like
That
all.
story was so important to me with cards growing up. I knew all the characters in my set, but the like sets I had growing up, I only really read X-Men. I didn't read a ton of Spider-Man and stuff. And so my knowledge of a lot of these characters came from these cards. That's why I love the stats on the back. It's like, oh, I could find out facts and their name and
Oh,
learn
yeah,
about the
sure.
characters. Yeah. So I kind of wanted that a little with mine. I wanted to make sure, like, when somebody got this card, even if you don't know this person, you're like, who's this person? I could tell who they are. I could tell what they do, like, just by looking at
Well,
this.
Simone, I'll tell you, you'll never be like shamed on it in a Marvel card room for not reading comics, because most Marvel card collectors didn't read comics as a kid. They read the back of the card.
Yeah.
Like, that's where
Okay.
they learn a lot of what they know about the characters. And that's
But see, you just getting back to what I was saying, that you guys are just a community that simply doesn't exist in Italy. Every comic book fan that I know or Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, they knew the characters are out of the comic books or the movies. And there's no community who actually got familiar with these characters with cards. I'm gonna give you the
every Marvel set published in like in Italy.
no,
well, the Panini has international cards, but the original art is not.
no.
And those are
That's
So which one?
That's from a day.
uh, is it recent?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, and it's a shame. But another thing that really is striking me these days that kids, my kids is good. My kids are learning the Marvel and DC characters as well from video games, much more than anything else,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Though I have to say, my older one, Sebastian, you learn his Marvel characters from video games. Now is into watching every single TV show and movies, and he knows everything. And now it starts to asking me about comic books. So it's nice. I mean, you get into. It doesn't matter where you start from, but if the path is leading you to the actual final thing, the comic books, I think it's worth the trip. Trip is not the journey,
Right, it's great.
but trip is I like it.
So we're surrounded by a ton of Marvel masterpieces art this year and a ton of trailer year art too. But when it comes to single card that you did and said that either captured the story that you wanted to convey, or just the art that you really enjoyed about that art of the character itself, you have to pick one for each of you. Because
One
which
of
one would
my
you pick? Yeah,
own
pick one of
set
your
that I
kids,
think
yeah.
captured a story.
Well, that either it told the story like you wanted to, or you
I
just
think Captain America is like that one tells that I think I actually, and I can maybe totally specify the emotion, like it's maybe nostalgia, maybe pride, maybe duty or something, but whatever it is that was kind of feeling like, I feel like I got it. That piece for me.
I don't know if you mean my favorite in general or the one capturing the story as well. Okay, the one that I think it captured the as Dan was saying, like the nature of the character is Namor because it was dark and it's one of my favorite cards from the set. Other than that, I don't remember. There were so many. I can't even remember. Yeah, I gotta say, Electro was one of my favorites. But a lot of villains like Kingpin. Kingpin, which is this gigantic face, and the edge of the edge of the face goes outside of the paper edge. So yeah, I'm a big villain fan. I mean, I think it's funny to draw villains. And I don't know, there were so many. Carnage. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know what? I never been asked this question, which is pretty crazy. Which is your favorite card? Yes.
It's like for me, like it's moderator. I'm like, I don't want to ask the question that gets asked all the time.
Yes, you're right.
But let's hear it.
No, but like my favorite.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I've
You
heard
heard
talk
what?
lovingly about.
Oh no, I got it. Loki. One of the two Loki, the bigger one. He really has with due respect, and I'm getting on my knees. Yes, exactly. He has a very Frazetta-ish feeling,
The shape.
and Frank, yeah, and Frank is just unmechanical. The more I do this work, the more I study and look up close Frank's work, and the more I understand, like, how far he went. It was just pure talent, and so the only one that he has that kind of because the thing that Frank was doing, he wasn't thinking. It was just a pure talent and through brush strokes. It was just shapes, No, it was just, and the crazy thing is, the more I see his work, and every time I see it, I can find something else that I didn't notice 2 years before. It's always brand new, fresh. Can you imagine a Marvel masterpiece set created by Frank Frazetta?
Not, I've seen the prices of his original art.
Oh yeah, that's another. Yeah, but that's another story. But yeah.
So let's talk about the industry for a second. So what is it, masterpiece of different things, would you want to see happen for the next art, whomever that, from their experience, as we have the modern man?
What do I want to see happen for them from a business?
From the industry, so it can be from a collector side or from the business.
I just want another nice set. I want another nice set. I want give them more time so they can make it better.
Yes,
I want to make sure they keep
absolutely.
it original art so that there's nothing like digital art is fine. I do digital art, but there's something I like about knowing that these masterpiece cards are real things.
Yes.
I wish they would bring back the backs of the cards, character backs. I know they've never really had that much, but like, yeah. Oh,
An
nice.
example on the shirt.
What else? And I wish they were cheaper. I wish that I know the collector. I think there should be two totally different sets, or make the rare things really rare, really special
Yeah.
art that's only on those cards, a subset of this.
Yeah.
But the base 90 should be dirt cheap that every kid can buy. It
Yeah.
should be
Absolutely.
everywhere at
I call it the retail. It's important because if there's not, it's going to
Yeah.
the future.
Though I have to say, young kids, they still want cards. I'm not saying the
I
other.
can't buy them. They're too
Yeah,
expensive.
no, you're right, but I'm not thinking about Marvel Masterpiece now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, I don't know if I can mention another. It's Pokemon.
It's a safe room. Nobody
Yeah.
listens.
So my youngest one, Lorenzo, he is obsessed with Pokemon, and but I'm definitely with that thing that they should be definitely cheaper just to enlarge, the family.
Pokemon, I can literally go on any street and buy one. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
And these things come together. I get the appeal, and there's so many things that connect Pokemon and Marvel masterpieces. But and this, please don't take this slander this, but is anybody in 30 years going to be like that Charizard story? Like,
Yeah,
Like it's not, I don't know if it's the.
yeah,
the same
100%
characters matter.
agree. That's what I'm asking my youngest one always. What are you doing with this cards? There's no story. There's no. Yeah, but we trade and the value. Yeah, but there's nothing behind it. But I mean, but again,
No, I love that you said it, because I think here from you create this, letting the audience hear, like, we want this to be as many as possible. Is it?
yeah.
There's still some, and there's still some stuff that's accessible, but most things accessible, yeah, they don't like, I'm sure all of us stumbled across a first card set somewhere, like a point of purchase display as you're shopping with your mom or something, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, and one more, I mean, how many boxes of just those? 250,000? 350,000.
Saw it out, it should be more places, and
Three hundred and fifty thousand.
Finding upper deck Marvel product in general out in the wild is like impossible, you know. You really have to, there's very few upper deck retailers where you can go and actually find the product, so.
And there's none anymore.
Yeah.
Like zero. Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
I make one. Okay.
We have other questions from the audience. I just don't want anybody to get over the motion. No. Yes, we got to.
What artists would you like to see? You said.
I would, okay, I would definitely, okay, I can give you 4 names, okay? So,
Wait, I want to think of 4 names.
yeah.
Like that
But
one.
I'm pretty sure one of these, but these are all gonna be like comic book guys. For all from comic book. So the first one, of course, would be Alex Ross, hands down. And Alex work quality, he's got the same appeal to me like Frazetta. Every time I see some of them, it's just out of this world good. So Alex. Ezad Rivic, yes. Ezad, who is a super close friend of mine, by the way, and a super funny guy too. I love Gabriele Dell'Otto, even though, I mean, it's Gabriele, so we're really. Uh, I love to see Gabriele, but I don't think it is. I mean, it is. I think it would be too much for him because he's one of those guys who takes off every single weekend, and they should definitely give him more lead time. And the last, I'm gonna give you 2 more: Bill Sienkiewicz and my dear friend Alex Malik.
Did you say any of your 4? A couple of them.
Yeah.
Alex Ross would be great. I
Yeah.
would do Alex Ross. I would say, and just thinking about it, I've been trying to guess who's the next one. I could see either Paulo Rivera
Oh yeah, sure.
or Ariel.
Oliver.
Ariel would do a really good job, I think, on it. Except I would almost want to see his digital stuff. I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, maybe. Eric Kiss would be phenomenal.
Okay.
What else did I want to see?
What about Brom?
Brom? That would be crazy. Except the Brom superheroes I want to see could be for Marvel.
Yeah.
And the same thing with
Yes.
Gabriel Delgado. I would love Gabriel Delgado, but I want to rip the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
to, like,
you're
shoot
right.
blood and everything.
I know about the restrictions. that-
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
and then there are a lot of them.
Team Gabriel
Yeah.
Delgado's like Tiger in the Wild.
So for 95 masterpieces, we know that your 4 arms still the set. But you have to do the same. Fire, green. So what are your thoughts if that would be good? So if you don't have to carry the full work on your own,
I don't know. I like the single person sets.
Yo, me too.
You know, I really like Force and Julian. I like the Hope Frank on this, but I kind of think of them as one entity anyways.
Yeah, let me be crystal clear about this. If Upper Deck should ever ask me to do it again, I will do it in a set. Despite, yes.
You heard that, Upper Deck? You heard that?
Despite being a crazy amount of work and forcing me to giving up about a lot, I love to work out, swimming, running, and it's just something that I need to do. Not only I love it, and I had to give up a lot of that during that but I will still do it because in the end, he really gave a huge boost to my own. I don't like the word career, to my own working life. So,
But would you split it within the law? They said you and what the five you said, because you can do a set with anyone.
yeah, okay. The worst of them, of course, because I want.
The worst of them.
If it's Gabriel, it's like just the team. I'm not. If he is in, I'm not. So, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, I would split with any of the artists that I mentioned, even though I'm sure I would look bad compared to some of them. And even though I have to say, yeah, as Dan said, I mean, it's such an honor, to do the whole thing. That is, if I really have to pour myself into that for 14 months of my life, I rather do it as quick as possible because I'm getting too old to do it, like when I'm be 60 or 65. Uh, but yeah, or maybe I will split with Dan. Yeah.
That would be
Oh, no,
nasty.
I mean, actually, that would be nice to have like a full set with me, Dan, Joe, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm thinking like, if I did split it with somebody, instead of 50-50, what if it was like Jim Lee pencils and me painting?
Wow. Yeah, that would be
my
great
set.
too. Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Well, I think what, I want to say, and I'm going to say it to the audience too, is like, we're really grateful for you guys. And
Thank you.
really appreciate it. There's a reason why the hobby has just felt a lift and a lift for one of you guys. Into it. And we want to see more. Like, we would love to continue to see you guys.
You keep buying, we keep paying.
Okay.
There you go. What a legend.
Well, if there's not any other questions, who has questions about?
You already said, that. Is there like a possibility? Everyone, that big market, one step.
There's always a possibility.
Yeah, we should offer that. I would be definitely.
I would too, if it was, how many, if you have one for the brand, just go again.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we're
yeah.
close, even against like 8 people. That's only like
Yeah,
10,
10, 15. I mean,
cards, I would do that.
yeah.
I would do that.
I would do that in gigantic size, like 15 gigantic.
Whoa.
And just for two reasons, of course. First of all, I like to see how they would look like in a much bigger size.
Right. We really appreciate you all.
And the second one, original artwork sales, of course.
Well, and if they did that and then put that in retail stores and made it really available, the range of people who would enjoy the artists they already know and love, and the people who would be exposed to those artists and art would be really amazing. I think that's a great idea. Make that happen.
We'll talk to after the department.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having me and us. Thank you.
Yeah, man. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for being and the ladies for allowing us to really showcase Marvel cards here at the original Art Expo. Thanks to Jose and Steve.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
I hope we get to do more stuff with you guys later. I think we will. Be sure to be following these guys on Instagram if you're not. Santos.
Santos underscore, Simone,
Simone Bianchi art. Please do. If you don't, it's a shame.
Everybody, thank you for watching.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. You guys are awesome.
I know.
Y'all be good. Be safe. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Peace.